Good morning, everyone. It's May the 30th, Saturday, although it is really Friday and we're just a day behind you. But I want to share with you a couple things before we start. The Archdiocese of Philadelphia has sent us guidelines, of pages of guidelines or things we're supposed to do for this yellow phase. We've kind of condensed them a little bit. For those that are planning on coming to Mass at St. Thomas here beginning a week from Saturday, Saturday evening Vigil Mass, and the Sunday Mass will be the same, be 7:30, 9:30, 11:30, and 5. The first thing we're going to ask you to do is make sure you come to church and you're wearing a mask. The second thing, there's going to be sanitizer dispensers in the church. We're going to ask you to sanitize your hands before you come in. We're also going to ask you not to gather in the narthex of the church before or after Mass. You're to come in, and the seating will be every other pew. There will be painter's tape on pews that you're not supposed to sit in, so please do not remove the painter's tape and move into that pew. Also, we're not going to allow to be used the missalettes to follow Mass. Singing will be at a minimal, and singing will be restricted to the cantor. So you can kind of hum along if you know the thing, or just close your eyes and participate in that. For communion time, we're going to ask you to move down in your regular communion line, but to leave a space between yourself and the person behind you. If you would take communion on your hand, however, that is recommended for us, at least right now. For the collection, okay, which is always a part of Mass, we're going to have baskets at the exits of the church. If you'd care to leave your offering envelope in there, or I encourage you to sign up and to do it electronically. If you are at an age where your health could be compromised, if you're a senior citizen, or perhaps maybe you have an underlying health condition, we'll ask you to stay home, not to come down to church. We will live stream the Saturday night Mass for your viewing on Sunday. So that way at least everybody can at least feel connected. We're just kind of reaching our way here as we start this process. Hopefully, in the future we're going to be set for the green stage. But at least right now, as you do the yellow thing, I'm going to ask you please just to try to follow these guidelines for the safety and for the good of everybody that comes to us on Mass on Sunday. But I appreciate your time that you give to watching some of this stuff. And I thank Kevin for his time. He was telling me this morning that so far there's been like 50,000 hits on these things. I didn't know St. Thomas could be that popular, but I thought the apostles did a better job than I do. But anyhow, be that as it may, I thank you. And if any of this stuff has affected your life or helped you in any way, I'm grateful to that. So I'd like to share with you some thoughts today. The other day I talked about my friend Teresa and the Nichols and how she had an experience of Jesus on her deathbed. Well, yesterday afternoon the doorbell rang at the rectory, and I opened the door. There was a gentleman there, and he handed me a bag, this bag, and he said to me, here's something for you, Father. And he said, maybe your friend Teresa can help you fill in the blanks. And he just walked down the walkway. And I thought, oh, what in God's name is this thing? I thought it was maybe food. People drop cookies and all that kind of stuff off for me. So it was all wrapped up, and here they are. And I'd like to show you what these particular things are. And if you remember the story of Teresa, perhaps maybe it can kind of fill you in. What they are, look, they're collections of nickels. And this is a set from 1992 to 1995. And as you can see, every slot is filled, every one of them. And the mint that it was minted at, from 1962 to 1965. And then you go back a little bit further, you have 1938 to 1961. Now that's even before I was born. But anyhow, there's a couple slots that are not full. There's two over here, and one over here. So say, for example, the 1938 Denver nickel is not here. The 1938 San Francisco nickel is not here. The 1950 Denver nickel is not here. So there's 4 missing out of that one. And this is starting from 1962, I guess, into the present. And in this one here, there's only 2 that are empty. It's 2009 from the Philadelphia Mint, and 2009 from the Denver Mint. So there's only a couple slots that have to be filled in. Now, he said to me, he says, maybe your friend Teresa can kind of help you to find the other slots where these nickels are supposed to be. But look at this now, because this is kind of interesting. This one here has 2 missing. This one here has 4 missing. But this guy here is complete. They got all the nickels in that one from 1962 to 1995. All the nickels and all the mints that were minted in, they're all in there. So there's a point in all that for us. This book is complete. It's got everything in it. That's ready for the history lesson. This one here is not complete. It's got 4 slots that need it. And this guy over here has 2 slots that have to be completed. So the leaflets are not going to be complete until the slots are filled. Now we can make an analogy with that with our life. It's simply this. It's just more of a question that I need to raise with you than anything else. What do you need in your life to make your life complete and your relationship with our Lord? What is the 1 or the 2 or the 3 things that are missing in your life? Have you reached that particular stage where there's nothing that you need to add to your life that make your life a living reflection of the Lord? In all likelihood, this isn't us, at least not yet. But as long as we're searching for that particular thing to fill in the slot, then we're making that stage in my life moving towards my life being completely in one with the life of Jesus. So what kind of things need to be filled in here? What are the issues in your life that make your life not in complete oneness with God? Could it be that anger? Maybe it's jealousy. Maybe it's a bad habit. Maybe it's wasting time, wasting food. Maybe it's missing opportunities to do some good for somebody because I'm just too lazy to do it, or because I just turn my back and look the other way. Look, nobody knows you better than yourself. Nobody knows me better than myself. If you come to the sacrament of reconciliation with me, I usually give people the same advice all the time. Someone came into church this morning. I was over there saying the rosary and wanted to go to reconciliation. And, I did this whole thing, da-da-da-da. And I said to them, look, nobody knows you better than yourself. You know what your issues are. So they're the things you have to work on. The things that fill in the slots are your issues. So nobody knows you better than yourself. So my thought to us today is, in order to make the book complete, that my life becomes a living reflection of the God that has created me, I have to look seriously in my heart and to see what is wanting or what needs to be added. And try your best to work on that particular thing or those particular things so that you'll reach the stage of having your whole life complete and your life will be a total reflection of our Lord and everything you say and think and do. When that happens, friends, you become really a living saint because your life is lived in the totality of God's grace. And everything you do, every word you speak, every action of your life is a reflection of the God that has made your life complete. So our journey in life is not complete till all the slots are filled in. May God's grace help you and me to understand what needs to be done. And may the grace of my friend Teresa, who sits before God, be an inspiration to you, not simply when you find a nickel, but when you fill the slot in, that your life becomes complete and you're living the way the good Lord wants you to live. Good to see you all. God bless you.